this is a presentation on how to create and destroy BCTV, which is short for Baycon television. Now, applaud wildly if you've heard of Baycon before. You were not listening to one of the previous discussions. Anyway, Baycon, as I've said before, it's a science fiction convention. I generally go as number 6. And I have for a while been BCTV's technical lead. I am not currently, so now's your chance to go in and take it over. So what do I mean by why you would create a television station in 4 days and destroy it, and why would one want to do so? Well, Baycon, as has been stated, is, it used to take place in the Doubletree, and just imagine an entire hotel full of geeks. I mean, it's probably even geekier than, well, this room, but in any case, if we, all of these people sometimes spend times in their hotel room, and once upon a time, a very wise but deranged man, who's sitting right back there, got my wife involved in taking over a television station of the hotel and playing various things in it. And I have been held a prisoner of BCTV for quite some time. So on BCTV, we play a number of different kinds of content. We play old movies and that sort of thing. But one of the problems sometimes is that we do run interviews with our guests of honor. So it's one of the perks of the job is that you get to fly around and interview all these fascinating people. This was actually among other things, he was one of the publicists behind the original Star Wars and so on. There are all these fascinating fan-created movies. This is the USS Farragut, which actually has far better production values than the original Star Trek. Not that that's terribly difficult. Yes, we played some movies that were so impressively terrible that they were designed actually to get people out of the rooms, screaming for their eyes, and to go out and interact with their fellow geeks in the convention. This is probably the beginning of Can't See TV. And yes, there was actually, at one point, a science fiction movie that was filmed during Baycon. This is the High Priestess of the Cult of the Giant Brain. That behind her is the giant brain that was ruling us all. It's actually a coral sculpture that's in the middle of the Baycon's hotel. And that is me filming the Masquerade, which is one of the major things that BCTV does. Now, one of the original problems of BCTV was that we actually did this all on tape. Am I correct on this? Yes. And so you got to hear rumors that there was this convention going around, and this is one of our cameramen that was taking the Masquerade. You got to hear rumors of a convention going around, but you never actually got to leave the room. Well, I am a computer geek. I hate to break it to you guys. And so, we would also spend all of our time trying to edit things together at the last minute to give something to show. And I said, well, computers should be able to solve this problem. This is actually just what I say about every problem. If I wake up in the morning and I haven't brushed my teeth, I said, computers should be able to solve this problem. Sorry, that picture should look like a computer on the carpet. Exactly. Computers should be able to solve that problem as well. So I decided to create something that the theme for the convention that year was time travel. Yes, we needed some evil wizardry in order to do this. So we have an immediate opening for one evil wizard. Visit theonering.net. So what we needed was a way of getting a computer to play software, to play videos at a specific time. Ah, yes. And the theme for the convention that year was time travel, so I chose the idea of the Wayback Machine, and I called it the Playback Machine. Wang, 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 wang. So then, now when we started this out, I actually think I spent about a year's worth of effort to develop the software. Ah, yes. So the software that we wrote this, that we used for this was actually called Poe. This is a scene from The Pit and the Pendulum by Edgar Allan Poe that we played on BCTV. I don't know who this is or why this slide is here. This is actually just a random example of the kinds of slides that we would play on BCTV. So what we're illustrating here is that we would schedule programs to show at specific times, and the computer could just constantly check, am I playing something? And if something wasn't playing, like now, then it would immediately just show slides and play music and that sort of thing. And then there were some times when things went wrong. Like the very first year that I did this, I woke up and I discovered that there were whales on the screen. And it was actually kind of pretty, but there was no program with whales. What happened was I had forgotten to turn off my screensaver, and it had kicked on, and everybody on the convention was watching my screensaver, which they seemed to enjoy more than the actual programming, so I had to stop that to make sure that they would claw their eyes out and get out of the room. Because, like I say, the entire point of BCTV is to make them want to watch just enough, but to want to leave the room. So if people ever come to me and say, Stephen, that was just a wonderful, wonderful movie, I missed my panel, it was so good, I would say, oh, just great, what was that? And then it would never run again. So let's see, though I will say that objectively, there are nowadays quite a few science fiction conventions that have these things. Now, we would always film the masquerade, and so actually, that gentleman over there, I have filmed him a number of times, but I've never seen his face before, because one of the previous times he was on loan from the Haunted Mansion, and so was hidden away. But anyway, one of the things that we do have is a robot, and I had a picture of a robot, but it's not there, so never mind. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for listening to me babble for 6 minutes.